Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back, Brandon again, and today's video is a sponsored one by Simple Pickup, and they want to know, do your conversations with girls usually end like this?
I'm not gonna kiss you. I will not kiss you.
So there you have it. The guys over at Simple Pickup have found a way to show you how to meet, talk to, and more importantly, make out with girls. And let's be honest, if you're watching fitness channels on YouTube like myself, you could probably use all the help you could get talking to girls. Now, no offense intended here, but they have a great site that walks you through things from start to finish. So in order to find out more, be sure to click on the banner if you want to go ahead and go over to Simple Pickup. Now, today's video is actually on something different, and it's on something that I talked about while I was in Vegas the other day doing my Q&A. I talked about balancing things in your life, so I want to expand upon that idea a little further. Now, what I want you to do first is try to think of 6 things that are very important to you in your life. Now, 6 just is a nice number to work towards. If you have more, that's great. If you have less, that's still okay, but it won't make the point as clear. So, for my instance, the things I'm going to use are work, family, health, training, YouTube, and social. Now, for all of these things, it can really differ depending on who you ask. So for example, some might say health and training are pretty much the same thing. But what I want to differentiate here is the fact that training for me is going to the gym and working out, while health in that instance might be mental health. Am I living a stress-free life? Am I just overall healthy in general? Those kind of things. So go ahead and think of your things now, and if you can, write those down on a piece of paper. Now what we're going to do from here is make somewhat of a wheel design with spokes, where each one of these things that are very important to us represents a different idea on the spoke. Once we're able to do that, we're then going to take a line and draw exactly how satisfied or how fulfilled we are with each of these things. Now, that can really depend on you and your context of that. So for instance, if we listed training as something that's very important to us, yet we don't feel like we have enough time to devote towards that, we might make that spoke very short. On the other hand, if work is something that's still relevant in our lives, but is really taking up too much of our own time, we might put that spoke as very, 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 very high. In fact, maybe so high that we might want to bring that down eventually. So what we want to do is go around this spoke and fill out each one accordingly. Now, if you want, you can rate it on a number scale, anywhere from 1 to 10, where 1 is a very short spoke, 10 is a very long spoke, and anywhere in between. But what you should be able to do upon doing this is see that you have a wheel with spokes that are all different shapes and sizes. Now from here, what we can then do is go ahead and draw a circle around those spokes. And more than likely what we'll find is a very unbalanced lifestyle, meaning that some things have higher priority even though we might not necessarily want them to, or some things are shorter where we want to be able to devote more time. Now what this graphic is really going to show us is where we can really stand to make some changes here. Because if we want to live a balanced life, these spokes should be similar in length as possible. Now what we can then do from here is, by looking at this design that we've come up with, is see what areas we might need to cut back on a little bit and see what areas we really need to improve. Now again, the things that you put in these spokes are really up to you, and it's up to your own design as far as what you think is important and the reasons why. And from here at least we can really see what we need to work on. So for example, if we have a very short spoke, we have to decide if this is something that's truly important that should remain in our system here, and if it is, what exactly can we do to go about to make sure that that spoke is longer? Now it might mean taking away from another spoke like I mentioned before, or it might mean making some personal sacrifices. So in the aspect of training, because I'm assuming many of you guys want to work training into your life to have a bigger focus or to have more time, it might mean things like getting up early, sacrificing some of your social aspects, maybe cutting down hours somewhere else. But in the end, what we should try to find is the most even wheel possible. Because when you take a look at this wheel, if you imagine it trying to actually roll, if things are unbalanced, it's going to lead to a lot of stress. And in some cases, things might break down. But if we have a nice round one, things will go smoothly, we'll be happy, and we'll enjoy the ride. So I hope that makes a little bit more sense. Let me know if it does in the comment section below. As always, I appreciate you guys watching, and stay big.